What's going on, guys? And today we have a very important video. We're going to be discussing something that is very important and something that needs to be discussed. There needs to be a change, and I'm going to be going over how to fix WMMA and make the fights much more entertaining than what they currently are, because there is a problem that needs to be fixed. Anyways, let's get into the video. So let me get this off my chest and make this clear to everybody watching this video right now. I have no issue or problem with women competing in mixed martial arts. And as a matter of fact, I think everybody should at the bare minimum at least train. It teaches so much self-confidence and it's great for your physical and mental health. However, regarding the UFC and high-level professional mixed martial arts, WMMA, although it doesn't apply to every single fight, a lot of these fights are killing the momentum of these fight cards, and especially these co-main events as of recently. Let me give you some examples. This past weekend, Moreno versus Albazi, which was a pretty good fight. The momentum before that fight was ruined by Blanchfield versus Rhodes, which was an absolute snooze fest, boring fight. UFC 307, Pereira versus Roundtree, which was one of the most badass fights of the year. Back and forth fight. Roundtree did better than expected, showed Pereira issues, and then Pereira beat the snot out of him. But the momentum was absolutely killed by a 5-round snooze fest between Juliana Pena and Raquel Pennington. That was a robbery even. It was such a bad robbery, but it didn't even matter because the fight was so awful. Nobody even cared. The card before that, UFC 306, Alexa Grasso literally got laid on for 5 rounds by Valentina Shevchenko. And I don't mean it was just a wrestle-heavy approach. Why can't you enjoy wrestling in mixed martial arts? No, I can enjoy wrestling. Good, entertaining wrestling. I'll give you an example. Moicano versus Saint Denis. That is effective wrestling where you take somebody down and you beat the hell out of them on the ground and you use ground and pound and create damage. No, Valentina Shevchenko lays on top of Alexa Grasso for 5 rounds. This is not entertaining, and this is not a way or conducive for fans being interested or being entertained by this sport. This is a huge turnoff, and it is a huge problem that needs to be addressed. And like I said, I'm going to give you guys a couple ideas and things that I've been thinking about to fix WMMA. So like I said, I want to help these girls out, make these fights more exciting. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make every single WMMA fight, this includes championship fights, all WMMA fights are going to be 3 rounds, okay? We're going to force the action a lot more because sometimes these girls, they're going to, they have these 5-round fights and they try to conserve their energy, and it's a lot different from when the guys fight, because the guys, they just naturally they hit a lot harder than some of these girls. And when these girls are trying to pace themselves and control themselves, they just don't hit hard and they don't create damage against each other. Now, like I said, this isn't for every single WMMA fight, but the majority of them, and especially these high-profile fights that are ruining cards. And these two of the examples I named were championship fights. Grasso versus Shevchenko and Pennington versus Pena. I feel like even though, it wouldn't have been a 10 times better of a fight if it was 3 rounds, it would have been at least a little bit more entertaining, and they would have went for it a little bit more if it was a shorter fight and you could force the action a little bit more. So 3 rounds for these WMMA fights. Now, next thing, be quick with separation. So don't let them stall with takedowns. If you take somebody down, if you don't attempt a submission or attempt ground and pound within, the first 30 seconds of taking them down, stand them back up right away. If you hold them down for a minute and you're hardly doing any damage with your ground pound, like if you're just lightly touching, the ref should let them know, hey, create damage, do something with the takedown. If it's not really doing anything still that's truly effective, then separate them, stand them back up. All right, the next thing, no more co-main events to pay-per-views, except for certain female fighters who have proven themselves to be entertaining. Like, I feel like Zhang Wei Li, even though, wow, she's so inactive, and I don't know why. She hasn't fought since UFC 300. But proven female, entertaining fighters, I'm fine with them being co-main events. But a lot of these other champions and a lot of these other championship female fights do not deserve co-main event slots. But it's okay because I have a plan for them. We're going to give these female champions their own fight night card to headline. It would be a free fight night card on ESPN. They do these crowded fight nights all the time. Like I just said, they had one over this past weekend, Moreno versus Albazi. But instead of that, they'll give it to a female. It'll be a 3-round world title fight in a crowded arena. They get their own show. They're the main event, the last fight, all the spotlight's on them so that they still have their big moment. You can put male and female fights on the card just like a normal fight night, but like I said, the only thing that would be different, the main event would be a 3-round female world title fight, and it would be their time to shine. So all of these changes that I have mentioned, I don't think is asking for too much. These are some relatively small and doable changes. Even if you look at the landscape of boxing, professional male boxing is 12 3-minute rounds. Whereas if you look at female professional boxing, world championship boxing is 10 2-minute rounds. It's a different sport. So I feel like the UFC should take the same approach. I don't even want them to shorten the round times, just 3 rounds for all of them. So, like I said, that's my thoughts on this topic, and that's my thoughts in a way to save WMMA and create more excitement for the sport. And I mean, if you have more exciting WMMA fights, I mean, who knows? Maybe, you could start putting them on pay-per-views again, and people will be genuinely excited because whenever most MMA fans see, Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena as a co-main event, they're like, oh my gosh, momentum killer. They think that before the fight, and then as soon as it happens, nobody's surprised and everybody's bummed and pissed off that it just ruined the momentum of the card and just killed all the excitement for it. So that's how you save the sport of female mixed martial arts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.